Yo, it's Moses again. Been working on the project. Just gonna let you guys see how it's going so far. I know I said I'd talk about Transfuser, but unfortunately I can't. They have a whole confidential thing, and people who did or did not make it in cannot really speak about their findings and how the whole process went till the 23rd, unfortunately. Um, However, I'll on the 23rd I'll be more than happy to talk about how the whole presentation applying process went, and I'll shed light to any people who want to apply in the future. Just my experiences, that kind of thing. Yeah, back to the project that we've been working on. I guess been trying to work in C++. Essentially, the entirety of my project is in C++. About 98%, up until I bumped into the point where I needed to put like a graphical user interface, a heads-up display, whatever you want to call it. Came to the conclusion that Slate is shit. No offense to not shit. It's a piece of shit. No offense to all the people who develop in Slate and work in Slate. I respect everything you do, but it's a piece of shit and it's a lot of effort for nothing. So I did a lot of my work in a lot of my graphical user interface work using the UMG editor that Unreal started to develop. It's a lot less effort for what you're receiving. So that's why the 2% of blueprints come into my work. However, everything that's displayed on the UMG is also displayed as a text render in my C++ class. So technically that's inefficient, but right now it's showing that everything is done in C++ essentially. Let's talk some beautiful mathematics, guys. So it's a currency system, right? A currency system that works off experience that works off levels, right? So to get levels, you need experience. But to know how much gold you're getting and how much experience you need to have a level. So it's a beautiful cycle. So the way this works is the amount of experience you have will determine the level you are. The level you are will determine everything else you get. From eating our zombies, for example. I haven't really dealt with AI, so our zombies aren't moving around. That's going to be a later talk, maybe in the next video or the one after that. Let's just get into the game. I'll show you guys what's going on. Had some project issues, so the map might not look as pristine as you're expecting it to, but it still looks nice, to be honest. If you go onto Jake's portfolio, you'll see it at its best, to be honest. Let's start by looking at the shop. We have a shop. When we eat our guy, we acquire money, experience. Experience is the blue writing there. When you acquire more experience, you'll see it fill up on the progress bar. Gold, green writing, white is white writing. Now we've got money. We can we can buy our dummy weapon. When we click buy it buys it. When we don't have money, when we try to buy a dummy weapon, we can't buy our dummy weapon. It's not letting us buy it. I can't use the weapon I have, which I'm pressing F to try and it's a teleport gun essentially. But when I acquire money and I buy the weapon, I can then swap places with objects. Just like in Portal, where you swap places with like certain things. Whenever we use the gun, it spawns another zombie. As you see, the XP is going up, the gold is going up, the level is going up, and our progress bar is going up. However, did you notice when we were level 0, we was gaining 100 gold per kill, and we was also gaining 5 XP per kill? However, the values start to change as we level up. This means that when you're leveling up, it may seem a little slow, but well, let's get out of here. But eventually, I accidentally fell through the map. But eventually, when you start to hit the high numbers, it will synchronize. So when you're like level 4, for example, you'll start gaining a percentage of the gold you should be gaining. So it's like a certain value of how much gold a level 4 would have, and then it's a percentage of that. So that way, when you're level 4, you could be gaining, let's say you're supposed to have 25,000 gold, and you're gaining 1% of that. You'll be gaining, what, 250 per pickup? 25,000, 2,100, yeah, 250, yeah, that was correct. And if I was wrong, someone is obviously going to correct me because all my friends are assholes. And yeah, so that's slightly higher than the initial 100 you're gaining. So it's always scaling to the amount of experience you're gaining. Anything else cool? Yeah, the teleport gun like portal. Gonna try and include some kind of cool functionality. Maybe have a crosshair on my next video with a physical component render that displays the gun. Gonna be looking to have my AI moving around in the next video. But yeah, the currency system is fantastic. It works like a library, so we punch values into it, and we call functions from the currency class, and then it'll punch values back out to us. As opposed to keeping things in our player state and getting that code all clunky. We want it to work just... Oh wow, dude, my voice is going. We want it to work just like the engine works in the aspect of getActor, for example. We punch a world in parameters, and then it will return a value to us. So our code isn't clunky, always trying to execute these really long functions. So yeah, if you ever have the time, I would recommend looking up like spaghetti code, for example. Moina was telling me about that, and that's just where your code is constantly getting bigger and clunkier. Clunkier is a good word for it. But yeah, feedback's always welcome. If you, I'm gonna probably link Chris's portfolio in this video because he did the shop for me. He adapted his FMP, made me a dummy icon. I asked for a gun, but I got a dummy instead. I'd recommend looking at Jake's portfolio too. He's been releasing some pretty good content on that. Yeah, once again, thank you very much for taking the time to listen to my video. If you have any questions about the code and the maths behind anything that's going on, or if you want to get into the Unreal Engine, that kind of stuff, feel free to contact me. I'll be more than happy to talk about it.